From Ukraine. Happy Christmas to everybody who will be celebrating it in some days. I hope you spend your time with families and with friends. It will be a really good celebration for you this Christmas. So today our topic is about red and black Ukrainian flag. We call it the second Ukrainian flag because the first one is blue and yellow, as you know. Red and black Ukrainian flag is symbol of Ukrainian freedom. Many people fought, died with this flag, Ukrainian flag. I hope in the next video I will make for you the video about its symbol, what it symbolizes. But today I'd like to tell you its history, who used it in this 100 years. Hello to everybody who is watching me. So the first time when I think nearly the first time I saw this flag by my eyes was Euromaidan. It happened 7 years ago when I was walking on the Maidan and there was the tent, and this tent was red and black, and it was so different from another tent, and these people were in masks and so on. And after I found that this tent belonged to Ukrainian nationalists. One of the most radical organization during the Euromaidan was the right sector, Pravy sector. These guys were the first who started fighting in Kiev at the end of 2013. Many of them believed in Ukrainian, in idea that we need to fight for be free, in order to be free. But what is the history of this flag? Here you can see the man who died 2 years ago in 2020. He was 94 years old. You can imagine he was so old, but he had very interesting and very dangerous in the same time life. He was born in the western Ukraine. His father was the big patriot of Ukraine. His father in 1920s organized Ukrainian art center or like this in their village. Guys and girls can go there and read Ukrainian books, sing Ukrainian song. And this man became the big patriot as well. He supported his father. When the World War II started, you know that in that time Western Ukraine belonged to Poland and Eastern Ukraine to Soviet Union. But in 1939, Soviet army conquered Western Ukraine. And in that time this man was a young guy. He was 16 years old, and he have seen that Soviet army, Soviet people were no good for to Ukrainians who live in Western Ukraine. Hello Ari, it's nice to see you here. Thank you for watching me. Because many Ukrainians, especially patriots, were killed by the Soviets in Western Ukraine. Many of Ukrainian nationalists were sent to Siberia, to the north of Russia. That is why then Nazi came to Ukraine. It happened in 1941. Western Ukrainians, they tried to collaborate with Germans against Soviet Union. Germans decided to make a separate division. It was called SS Galicia. Galicia means the region of Western Ukraine where everything is happened. Nazi didn't call it Ukrainian division because they didn't want to create independent Ukraine. They would like some region to be inside of the Nazi state, and they would like to control it. But Ukrainians, they have separate idea about this division. For instance, you can see here Ukrainian Galician flag. This is a yellow line on the blue shoulder. This is prototype of Ukrainian flag here. Now this is Lviv flag that's belong to Western Ukrainian city Lviv. Many Ukrainians joined this SS Galician not because they supported Nazi, but because they would like to be trained for army. And this man also, when he was 16 years old, he joined this division. He learned much from German, how to fight, how to shoot different military stuff. Yeah, he learned in order in the future to fight for independent Ukraine. Yeah. And what happened with this division? In 1943, Germans they were pushed away from the Soviet Union. Yes, and they slowly they cross Ukraine. Soviet army conquered, chasing them. In Western Ukraine, near the city Brod, there was going to be the big battle, Germans and Nazi. And Ukrainian division SS Galicia became one of the first army that's make like barricades. They started to fight. They should to fight against Soviet army. Yeah, so this man and his division was there. And they had no proper guns, they had no tanks, they were alone against the big powerful Soviet army. It was the second Soviet army headed by Konyev, General Konyev. He had many tanks, he had many planes, so of course it was very difficult for Ukrainians to fight against it. That is why this SS Galicia was defeated. People, Ukrainians who was in this army, they went away. They went to the forest. These people started Ukrainian. It's called Ukrainian Insurgent Army, Ukrainian Partisan Army. Yeah, because they stay in the forest, and local people, Ukrainians, supported them. So this man did the same. They fought against Soviet, and this fighting continued till 46. It was very difficult to win these people because they were in forest, and local people, at least many Soviet militaries were sent to Western Ukraine in that time to fight against them. Such kind of army we now call also like Bandera's army because one of the leader of this Ukrainian insurgent army was Bandera, who actually in that time lived in Germany and was killed there. It happened in from 1945 to 1948, about 250,000 people were taken from the forest and were arrested. Many of them were killed, many arrested, and many of these revolutionaries were sent to Gulag to north of Russia. In north of Russia there were many concentration camps. They were taken in this camp, and this man was taken also to such kind of camp, concentration camp. But he had very big willpower. Even in the prison, he continued his fighting against Soviet Union. There was situation that the prisoner from different camping, they started insurgent, they started fight against Soviet militaries, there in Russia even, and he took part there. This man told that once he took away eyes of one of the guard in prison. That is why his in prison continued till 2 years more. So in total he was 11 years in prison, in Russian prison, this man. But he was strong and came back to Ukraine. He lived till 220 and died just 2 years ago. So he was real hero for young Ukrainians who are patriots now, even today, like from the right sector. And interesting that Ukrainian Insurgent Army was supported by different leaders, statesmen from different states. For instance, Charles de Gaulle, the French leader, during one of the evening, he told that if I had such army as Ukrainian Insurgent Army, the Nazi would have never stepped to France. We don't know exactly if it's true or not, because we don't have document about this, but probably in talking about this he told, because you know that's for Charles de Gaulle it was the tragedy that France capitulated in front of German in 1940. Of course there was a battle for France in 1940s, but the high generals of French army, they decided, and president decided that it's enough, that they had no force to fight against Germany, so they decided to make peace of this. But just Charles de Gaulle and his supporters, they believe that they can fight. That is why he organized the Free French people who fought against the Nazi in that cruel time. Very interesting story. I have a relative. He was 16 years old in time of Second World War. He was sent by Nazi to factory. He worked in factory in Germany, and he told that there used to work many different people from different countries, from France, from Slovakia, from Poland. And once he had a talk with French, I think it was French people, French man, and this man, he was very good to him. He gave him some, I don't know, some food, and something. And he asked my uncle if he can help him with different stuff against Nazi. And my uncle, he burned one machine on this factory. And he told that this man, Frenchman, he was in anti-Nazi organization. There were people who secretly make some terror attack against Nazi in Germany. So it was like the big chain, of people. So it's interesting, really interesting to learn history, because I believe that when I learn history, we can make some lesson from the history. till now many people from different countries, they act like their grandfather act in that time. Probably such kind of history can be lesson for us and can be something that's we should to think for future. Thank you. Thank you for watching my talking. I wish you have a nice Christmas days. I wish I send the best wishes to you and your families. There are, by the way, is my birthday. She's singing. See you next time. Have a nice weekend.